Well, hey there, and welcome to Camp Video Games. This is a podcast that covers video games and their multimedia adaptations. Today, we are talking about Final Fantasy V. This is part 2 in an ongoing discussion. My name is Junior Camp Counselor Sean, and that there is Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Oh, hey, campers. This is Junior Camp Counselor Josh here with another camping tip, which is if you do get lost in your adventures hiking in the woods and you meet a pirate who is willing to help you get back, probably your sister.
True. Oh, yeah.
It's probably your sister. I don't care if they present as a man, they are your sister. Little spoiler, which, by the way, full spoilers for Final Fantasy V for the rest of this.
That's right.
Which is not a super spoilable game, but just so you know.
Speaking of asking for directions, I heard a little tidbit that I don't agree with, and it's that the reason... this is with big quotation marks around it. The reason that guys have better sense of direction than women is because we have more magnets in our nose. So we know where north is. Yeah.
That checks out.
That's scientifically not proven, but it's a thing I saw on the internet.
Well, I'm going to use that sense of direction to take me to the edge of the earth, and I'm going to see what's on the other side of the ice wall. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Anyways... what we're going to do here is we're going to pick up where we left off, which was my wife is now trying to check to see if there's magnets in my nose. That's why things are awkward right now. They are not. The Altoids box did not stick to my nose. But anyway, we left off at the castle, the Tower of Waltz, when we were last discussing this game.
Oh, yeah, dude. We got
Bartz
and Galef and Lena and Ferris, and they're just adventuring. So hard. The
first episode, we just got the gang together. The wind crystal broke, and we saved a wind drake who's helping us move through the world. Most of the progression of this first act of the game is chasing down crystals and failing.
Yes. This is a story of failure
for a really good chunk of the game. I still haven't finished it. I've played it, 2 or 3 times before, but I've yet to reach a point where you finish a scenario and either you don't fail or something bad doesn't happen at the end.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
it's just a series of unfortunate events propelling you to the next scenario in the story.
Yeah, the only victories in this game are followed by da 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 da.
But that being said, yes, I wanted to leave us off with the Tower of Waltz is when we get our next batch of jobs, because every time a crystal breaks, we get a few more jobs. So we kind of look forward to crystals breaking in some regards.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with a little bonus.
Yeah, yeah. Which I mentioned last time, I believe. Our 9-year-old Chibis and I, who are playing the game together, she gets very excited when the crystal breaks. We get new jobs, and that means we get new sprites. Is the thing that's most
new
exciting
costumes.
To her. But what I want to talk about is did you develop as the crystals break in the Tower of Waltz, and then the next one is the fire crystal, and then I feel like it's a while before the earth crystal breaks and you get more, and that's a pretty difficult chunk of the game. Did you have any sense of strategy or job building progression at that point?
Well, at that early starting point of the game, I was really focusing on mastering some of the basic jobs. I remember because it's been a few weeks now since I beat the game, and I'm struggling to remember every step of the way. But I know that I had Bartz and Galef. I was mastering the knight abilities for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Ferris was a thief, and Lena was a white mage. And I wanted to get those base skills settled so that I would have them for the rest of the game at that point. Because I think the base stats, every character is different. Even though every character can adopt every job in this game, there are certain predispositions.
Yeah, we talked about that
complement their abilities. So I kind of stayed in that basic route where after I mastered the white mage skills, I then went to the summoner for Lena, because she's my magic user, and for Ferris after the thief abilities, I went ninja, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. I think a better version of my question is you didn't have any sort of like end game build in mind that you're like, I got to start early.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, because I started looking into that, because I think it's like you get crippled with opportunities in this game, and it's one of the parts of the game that I think is the replayability, where it's just like you can really approach this game in a million different ways. But I'm also like, there's got to be an ideal build for each character. And I looked into it, and they wanted everybody to start off with blue mage abilities. And that makes sense. But I didn't do that. I didn't have the patience to go around learning all of those blue mage abilities, even though they become incredibly useful if you can get the right spells. So I know that was one of the stepping stones, was like, start with blue mage for a lot of people. And from there, the world is yours. And I did look at a guide that was like, basically like, Barts, do this, Galef, do this. But I did not think to do that my first playthrough, only because I wanted to kind of, experience this fresh and make my own decisions and, sleep in the bed that I made.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that I'm predisposed to have like 2 casters, 2 physical people.
Yeah.
And my physical people, I'm essentially building towards having the 8 times attack, where if you have dual wield from the ninja master,
and rapid
fire from the archer,
the ranger in my game. Because I'm playing again.
No, I'm just trying to remember if it's ranger or archer in the pixel remaster that I'm playing.
I just know in the Game Boy Advance version that I'm playing, it was ranger.
Yeah. But I find myself sort of naturally inclined to build up 2 of those.
That makes sense. Knowing your style of play, you're very much a
just hit them hard and fast.
Yes, let's maximize these characters.
Yeah,
optimize.
And the game does like sort of the way it delivers jobs and like the increments that it gives it to you. It sort of forces you to like dabble around. I'm finding as I'm grinding through this first third of the game, where it's like, you can't just OP like one job and just mindlessly hack through everything, which is interesting. But anyway, back to the story here. The Tower of Walls crumbles, and Sildra saves you somehow.
Yeah, good old Sildra. There's like a whirlpool that is caused by a monster called Garula, I believe.
Garula. That was the monster that like it escaped. I don't know. There's some. If you talk to enough NPCs, you're like, oh, Garula went wild, and that's what tears down the Tower of Walls.
Okay,
yeah,
and
throws you into the ocean.
And to save you, Sildra swallows the team, Jonah and the whale style.
Yeah, and they're all just kind of like, Sildra's here. Let's trust Sildra to eat us.
Yeah, dude.
And take us across the ocean.
Well, Sildra is Ferris's like familiar, I guess.
Yeah,
and,
fair enough.
That's there. Speaking of like jobs and like different characters, there was one guy that was trying to like thematically make sense of what the characters would be, and since Ferris is like, so close with Sildra, and Lena is so close with her dragon Kiryu, they're like, make them both dragoons. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
You're talking about in like you were investigating jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You know what? I do kind of love that about this game and tactics is, if you go back to probably like Game Facts message boards, there's probably a lot of discussion like that.
Yeah.
Of like all these different builds that people have tried, which is really fascinating.
And I mean, to be frank, like that's why I chose the thief skills for Ferris, because she's a pirate. So it makes sense to me.
So like early on, you're gonna go, I don't know. I guess this person should be a thief. And
I just remembered I started Galef as a monk. That was an important job for him.
Interesting.
And that's a great skill. Like the
bare hand skill I'm using on Lena for dual wield bare hands, because I don't know. We'll probably get there today, but like the Ronkin Temple, the Earth Temple, like that whole section of the game, like the enemies are really hit or miss as to whether or not like they're just immune or high defense to certain types of damage.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. And all of the like knives and swords you can get are like
Elemental.
They're either elemental or they like the mage masher, which I think is supposed to cast silence. And I don't know. I just find I was missing a lot. So I was just like, I'm just barehanding.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm doing a lot better.
There are certain weapons, and I don't think we'll get to it in this episode, but there's a false Excalibur that you can find in this game. You get it from Gilgamesh, and it's called Excalibur.
I remember. Do you have to steal it?
I'm
worried I missed
No, I
it.
think you just win it after you defeat one of the first Gilgamesh fights. And it's like it's got huge stats, and it's like a decoy. It's like it has huge stats, but hidden is the fact that it's going to do very, very poor damage.
Mm-hmm. So the next up, do we have the I forget, do we go to the Library of the Ancients or the town of Karnak first?
You go to Karnak first,
Okay.
because you go into the meteor and it warps you, and that brings you to Karnak, the town of Karnak, and it's in flames. And this is the town that is using the flame crystal
Correct.
to power their stuff.
Yeah.
And this is all they're blaming their preeminent scientists for all their problems, which is, ironic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Sid in this game, and in pretty much every Final Fantasy, there's a Sid.
Yes. And Sid is good. It's like Sid's going to become very important for like the next several hours of the game.
Yeah.
It's he and we will soon meet his grandson Mid are really going to be the only things moving the plot forward for several hours in a very weird, fascinating way.
Yeah. Sid developed the technology that allows the people of this world to amplify the crystal's power, and much like Final Fantasy VII's cautionary tale. It's the overuse and dependence of this one source of power that is going to condemn them. And that's an interesting environmentalist cautionary tale that Final Fantasy V.
Yeah, it's funny to see them hinting at that, but not going as aggressively as they do in 7 quite yet.
Yeah.
Even 6 has a little bit of that in that
the espers,
they are turning espers, which are basically just people from a adjacent dimension that just seem like monsters to us. They're like, let's just kill them and use their energy to power our world.
Sounds legit.
That's several Final Fantasy games at this time. I probably said this before on the podcast, years before Al Gore told us an inconvenient truth or whatever that actually made people believe in climate change for a few years there. And now we don't believe in it again, and we're all going to die. And it's fun.
My mother-in-law, anytime she throws away a recyclable item, she always says, "I'm sorry, Al Gore."
She's still on that. Okay. Yeah. So at some point when you visit Karnak, for some reason you get thrown in jail and you meet Sid, and he helps you escape together. Throughout this game, Sean and I both admittedly struggled to remember plot beats in a weird way that I do not have this same problem with other Final Fantasy games.
I mean, here's why, is because Final Fantasy IV was criticized by a lot of gamers for being too linear and having too much emphasis on straight storytelling than it did on gameplay. And they overcorrected with Final Fantasy V, where they then decided, hey, you know what? Who needs a epic story or really hard hitting narrative? Let's just make a really, really intricate job system and an open world that is pretty easy to explore early on. Multiple open worlds.
Yeah, it's but I think that's part of it. I think another part of it is the characters, even compared to 4, are much more just flat. We discussed this last time.
Yeah.
they're more flat than what we get in especially 7. I mean, the reason we have 7 getting remade over and over and over again, or just constantly getting spin-offs, is just there's something they just nailed when they developed those characters. That I was literally talking to somebody just yesterday about how Final Fantasy VII radicalized me because a man with a gun for an arm told me, that like sucking power out of the ground is going to kill the planet. And I was like, okay, Barrett Wallace,
Yes, yes.
there's no, I don't know. There's just no characterization quite like that, that is happening in Final Fantasy V. They're all, I mean, Bart's is a shonen anime trope, lead character.
Yeah. He's just an aw shucks kind of like, let's do what's best for everybody after he gets talked into doing the adventure, because he was like, oh, okay, here's how I would describe it. There is no interpersonal conflict with our crew. There's no arguing,
friction.
there's no friction at all. Yeah, good way of putting it. They're just there to save the day, and that's about as interesting as like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, versus Final Fantasy VII, the friction between Cloud and Barrett is immediate within the first 15 minutes of the game.
There's distrust and resentment.
Yeah, you have Barrett going off on his tangents about saving the planet and Cloud going, hey man, that's weird. I'm just here to make a buck.
Yep.
And like there's immediate friction that has to evolve the relationship for them to be willing to save the world together by the end. And here it's just everybody goes, let's save the world together within the first hour. And there's like, from then on, it's like, who's talking never really matters.
Sure.
It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting. I immensely enjoy this game. And to be fair, like our 9-year-old who's playing it with me is deeply invested in the story. And it works. I don't know. But after we get out of the castle, we need to go fix Sid's fire ship, which is able to sail with the power of fire.
Yes.
And there's a dungeon that you play through to like, is it to get to the crystal? I don't. It's so like, it's so crazy to me how difficult it is to remember what happens in this game.
I think the other benefit that, like, for example, Final Fantasy VII has in terms of storytelling, narrative devices, is just the CGI cutscenes that like put such an emphasis on the real life danger that these people are facing, and it's really hard to scale that with these 16-bit graphics, at least in this case. Yeah,
but like, I mean, well, and I've played Final Fantasy VI more, but like I played them at around the same time in my childhood. I played 5 and 6, but like, man, 6, I could probably sit here and walk you through the whole story without like revisiting it, and not miss a single scene. And like this, I'm like, I played it within the last week or two, and I'm like, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. Oh, I could talk all day about the specific abilities that you can earn in Final Fantasy V, but the story itself is just like, we gotta save the day, man. It's like, cool. You know what? I agree. Let's save the day.
And as I'm like pivoting through this footage of the ship dungeon, there's also a lot of moments here, especially in the first act, where it's like, oh, we've reached the end of the dungeon, or we've just like reached the next story beat.
Yeah.
And a boss is just kind of thrown at you with, there's no motivation behind that boss.
Or characterization.
There's no characterization. There's nothing. It's just literally a little sprite walks up to you and the gang goes, well, we got to beat this thing up. And like, which is another difference in this and Final Fantasy VII. Like, first moment that pops to mind is like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like Don Corneo, you go through this big scenario of meeting him, and then he drops you through a trap door. And even though you just fight a generic monster, it's super memorable because of apps or raps or something.
Yeah. The cool guy that does the sewer attack that hurts him.
Like, it's just a very memorable boss fight because of all this build up to it, versus here you just walk up to, I think it's like the crystal, and then all of a sudden, boop, 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 this little sprite walks up to you and you fight this flame monster.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no, I mean, I guess we could assume like, oh, this is a symbol of the fragility that the crystal is facing as the seals are being broken and a monster's escape, but like no one offers that within the context of the game,
Yeah.
you know?
Well put.
Yeah.
Campers, if you want to summarize the story of Final Fantasy V in 50 words or less, do it in the comments. Love to hear how you make sense of all this.
Well, okay. I can fix this. It was the Queen of Karnak was possessed, but we had no relationship to her earlier.
Yeah,
we might have been told she was missing.
To echo Anthony Bourdain, I hate the royalty, man.
Yeah, so who cares about her?
No kings.
No kings, dog. No kings, but God and Jesus in the glory of heaven.
You're not my boss. You're not my father, and you ain't God, so I ain't listening to you.
Yeah. Okay, but when we do beat this boss, though, this werewolf we've been hearing rumors of comes in.
That's right.
And this is now we're finally getting like a little bit of foreshadowing of a bigger story. The werewolf comes in and knows Galif.
Yeah.
And this was a fun moment in our playthrough with the 9-year-old, because like, yeah, each time you reach a crystal, like there's a little breadcrumb dropping to get you somewhat invested in a story that's very slowly percolating. Because as we said, these characters have no personalities of their own.
Yeah.
It needs to happen through these other NPCs. So Galif is like, this werewolf knows me or whatever. And then the crystal breaks, and we fall through, and we're like in the castle, and we have to do a castle escape.
Yes.
A timed escape. And what's very funny is as soon as we dropped in the castle and that counter started, I had to tell the 9-year-old it was bedtime. And she learned what a cliffhanger is.
Nice.
Which was very, very fun.
I know in the development of this game, Sakaguchi wanted to have more of these timed events.
Interesting.
And due to memory issues, they weren't able to do that, except I think only one other time, way later in the game when you access the mime job.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But other than that, I can't recall. I don't recall there being any other timed events that are specific to the story like this.
Yeah, I don't believe there are. And I'm just looking for the next section of our playthrough here. Sorry,
that's all right.
I'm distracted.
So, if you need catching up, the reason Galif doesn't know this werewolf that knows him is because he's suffering from amnesia.
Always got to have lots of amnesia in a Japanese role playing game.
Yeah.
I feel like I've mentioned there's a great podcast. I haven't listened to it in a while because they're covering a game I've not played, but they do a very detailed walkthrough of each game they play. It's called Retrograde Amnesia.
Oh yeah. Not Resonant Arc.
No, Resonant Arc and Retrograde Amnesia. Those are my top two other video game podcasts.
You heard it here on this third tier video game podcast. What are the good ones?
Yeah. But during the castle escape, what's fun about it is if you want to challenge yourself, there are several unique, very rare treasures that you can get. Did you get the ribbon during your castle escape?
Oh yeah.
Which is the ribbon, of course, in Final Fantasy, it protects you from everything. However, in this game, I believe you can only equip it on a freelancer or a dancer.
That's correct.
So it's like pretty useless till the end game.
You can get a few of them. You can accrue some ribbons throughout the game. Not in this particular area, but it's one of those things where it's like, you better get that ribbon. It will really make a difference in the end game.
Yeah,
because it negates status effects. And I think that's all I remember it doing.
I mean, that's all it needs to do to be
no
the best
sleep,
item in
no
every
paralysis,
game.
no insta death. It's quite useful.
And what's interesting is because it's only equipable to the freelancer and the dancer, right? You don't have dancer for a long time.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're like, I'm not going to give up all my abilities to be a freelancer so that I can equip this one item.
Yep.
And it also has a sale price of 1 gil.
Oh, sick.
That like I could see a kid really screwing themselves by going like, this thing's worthless, and just be like, whatever, just give me that 1 gil.
Let's clear out the inventory here.
I just like had that thought when I literally just was playing the game earlier today, and I was selling off gear, and I was like, looked at it for a second, and I was like, mental note, do not sell that. Yes. As I was getting rid of like my leather armor, my cotton robe,
right. Yeah. In this game, ability points are far more important and rewarding than experience
than
points.
Anything.
Yeah. And the reasoning behind that I thought was really interesting because after just doing the lightest of research into like the development, like what motivated them to make these decisions in the game is that unlike other Final Fantasy games, like the more you fight, the stronger you become no matter what, right? Mm-hmm. Like you just like it affects your stats as well as like, you know, your health and all of that. And in this case, your stats are base and they're only affected by your jobs, what job you have. So if you take a magic using job, your stats around magic will increase, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of incentivizes you to, it gamifies leveling up in a way that Final Fantasy hadn't done since Final Fantasy 3, which was where they introduced the job system where, you know, well, what we've been talking about.
The same one that we're using.
Yeah, but this one is far more sophisticated and rewarding as a gamer.
Big time. And then the only other Final Fantasy game I could think of that does this thing where like leveling up doesn't matter if you're not also doing
tactics.
Well, I'm thinking mainline, but tactics for sure. Tactics, it's like every single turn you need to make sure that character does something. Yes. Throw a rock, do something. Yes. Otherwise, you're not getting job points. But Final Fantasy VIII actually is like this because it has this very. It's not that confusing, but people say it's very confusing. It's called the junction system, where every single magic attack that in the game can be equipped to a stat, but like your summons then determine which stats are equipable. It's very confusing up front, but I've played the game enough that it's very simple to me. But in that game, the enemies level up with you.
That's right.
So like you could be level 20 at the end of the game and like have avoided a ton of stuff, but as long as you're like junctioning and you've been drawing the right magic or whatever, like you could still be strong enough, which is very fascinating. This is a little bit similar to that, where it's like, oh, if you weren't diversifying and learning along the way, you could kind of screw yourself, which is interesting. But anyway, yeah, you do this timed run out of the Castle Karnak. It explodes and opens a barrier wall that was there, so that now more of the world is open for you to explore.
Sick.
Yeah. So it goes in these games. And is this the point now? Is the Library of the Ancients on the other side of this place?
That's right, Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Okay. Well, first we get a few new jobs.
One of the details that I really like is after the destruction of Karnak Castle, Queen Karnak is now a refugee living in the pub.
Oh, sick. I didn't go back and see
living in a hotel room above the pub in Karnak town.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. I think she's in a coma too.
At this point, we get do we get Beastmaster Geomancer? I'm like waiting for my footage to remind me which jobs you get after Karnak. These are the sort of the least useful in my opinion.
Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree. When you get some of the Geomancer's like abilities, they become like essential in the later game. Specifically, there's a skill that negates any damage you would accrue from floor panels in the dungeons, which means like you can walk on lava. It'll help you avoid falling in pits, which in Castle Exdeath later on is a huge time waster because you're essentially ascending this giant castle made out of bones and flesh. and then you can just fall through a hole in the floor, and it'll take you back to the first floor, and you just have to keep going back up. It's maddening. And the Geomancer, that's the only time I was like, oh, I really gotta boost up my Geomancer skills just to have that skill.
So did you have to like equip the job in that dungeon and go, I gotta level this up a bit to get that ability, or did you already have it at
I
that
think
point?
so. Or there's whenever we get to Castle Baal, which is Galif's castle, the basement of that castle has the enemy Objet d'Art, which is the it's like a piece of armor, like a helmet and a breastplate that's been brought to life.
Oh yeah. I ran into those and beefed it.
Yeah,
okay.
I spent like 10 hours doing that. I'm not even exaggerating.
Like figuring out how to beat those and go through there, or
no, just grinding those guys because they give 2 ability points per enemy.
Oh, interesting.
And like this game is very, very conservative with the ability points.
Yes, I recall before I had the convenient boost of Pixel Remaster, playing a fan translation back in like 97 or 98 or whatever. I remember this being a very grindy game.
Yes.
Which I think you talked about doing a lot of last time.
I think in total I did like 15 hours of grinding in this, just of repeat battles in specific areas.
Like there's, just weird sort of distinct memories that will ping my brain when I revisit games like this. And one of them is grinding Bart's into the, at the time, Ranger job for that rapid fire attack.
Yeah.
And like, maybe like I read on a message board like how good it was. I'm like, I gotta get that. And it's like something like 450 ability points or something after you've gotten like 2 or 3 levels into Archer, which is a job that's like it's not a great fighter. It's not great. It's like you get this animal's ability as its level 2 skill or something, which is every time you do it, it's a free cast, but it's one of 6 or 7 random things. And then one of them is a cure-all called Nightingale, which is a little more powerful than Cura, which is your most powerful curative at that point. So I've actually been relying on that quite a bit at this point of the game, between, say, like, whatever you get it. I think you get it. Actually, it's after a few more story beats, but through like that Earth Temple and like all the boss fights you do around that area of the game. I'm just like, Nightingale, come on, Nightingale.
Yeah. Okay, you said Cura, and I drew a little comic in my notes of an Italian guy, and it says, no, don't you hate it when you got to use the Cura on yourself?
Very good. So
Curaga, agita.
After we
I'm sorry. I know you're Italian and I'm being offended.
Yeah, I'm so offended right now. Which, funny side story. I don't entirely understand this, but our 9-year-old and her friend have been singing some song that I think is called like Italian Brain Rot, and it's somehow connected to Roblox.
Sure.
And it's literally like them just being like agabagula diga dooga doo. And I'm like trying to like awkwardly explain to them like that's kind of offensive. It's kind of racist, but not really.
I'm Irish, and you can throw a potato at me, and I won't be offended. It's fine. You'd be like, "You drunk?" And I'm like, "I know." It's like fine.
But like they're just like singing like "Gabagula di gadoo" in the back of the car, and they're like, "What? It's Italian brain rot." And I go, "Oh yeah, I know what that means." Sure.
I don't know. I finally watched my nephew play Roblox.
Sucks, right?
I liked it.
Oh my god!
Because it's just like you just blow up buildings.
Well, so Roblox is it's a platform that anybody can develop a game in the platform and dump it in there.
Oh, okay.
And then kids pick the games they want to play.
Yeah, the one my nephew was playing, he was just like in like an industrial like. It looked like the industrial part of town, and he was just like, I wonder what happens if I shoot that building with a rocket launcher. And then he shoots it, and then it starts to collapse. He's like, cool. And then like it falls on him. There's like no health or like enemies or anything like that. It was just more just like a cause and effect. Like do that and this happens. It's fun.
The ones that are big at our house right now is Grow Garden, which is like a crappy version of Stardew Valley.
Okay.
99 Nights in the Forest. It's like a survival game where like you're in the forest, and I think from what I can understand, it seems like every day it's like the map expands and gets more dangerous. It's like a roguelike. And then the one that I'm just like, what is this? It's called Steal a Brain Rot. It just came out last month, and it's like huge on Roblox. And from what I can gather, it's like silly. Maybe I was high looking at this over our kid's shoulder, but like it looked like it's like a conveyor belt of like dumb brain rot memes come into a room, and you have to run in and take them, and you have to store them in your base. And then there's other people's bases around, and you have to steal their memes. It's so weird.
So you're stealing memes. So it's Twitter.
I don't know. To that end, most of things I see on Roblox feel like weirdly fascist coded.
Cool. I'm not worried for the next generation at all.
It's I don't know. It's deranged. I'm not in love with Roblox. I am in love with Final Fantasy V though. And the sort of the next piece of our adventure trajectory here, after Karnak explodes, we need to go down south to the Library of the Ancients.
That's right.
And you can encounter the Dorm Chimera.
Oh no, in the desert. This thing is so tough, but it teaches you a great skill later.
Yeah, so you can learn Aqua Breath from this thing
Aqua Breath!
For your blue mages. And if you do it at this point in the game, it's probably just going to wipe you out.
100%. You cannot beat this. It's like the Midgar Zolom at this point, where it's just like, it is there to be a problem.
Yeah, there just feels like a lot of moments like this where you can just walk in somewhere. We talked about this last time. Like, there's a lot of rooms or like terrains you can walk into and just find something and go, oh, so that killed me in 2 hits. And it's a little frustrating. Yeah. Thankfully, the Pixel Remaster does quick saves like every time you come in and out of a room.
Oof, love that.
But man, it's quite brutal. But then we go on to the Library of the Ancients, where we meet Mid.
That's right.
Final Fantasy's first Mid, which is a character that recurs. It's
cool.
Final Fantasy 16. God, it's so funny how much Final Fantasy 16 is just a massively expanded version of this game, story-wise. Cid is Mid's grandson, I believe, in this game.
Yes, that's correct.
And in Final Fantasy 16, it's like his niece, or maybe it's his daughter. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. And they do the exact same thing. Like, they're like a engineer understudy to Cid. And now we're going to spend several hours just going back and forth across the world, finding trinkets to upgrade technology with Cid and Mid is basically what happens after we go through the Library of the Ancients, which is a fun dungeon where there's all these scholarly guys who just hang out in this library all day. I don't know why they're studying ancient history so hard, but they say like Mid's lost and he's just deep in the library, but the library is full of monsters that come out of the books, and all the monsters are named like page 64.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're just fighting books for the next 20 minutes of the game until
you
find
a
Mid.
Republican?
Call me Moms for Liberty the way I'm out here fighting books.
Because the
fighting book learning.
The boss of the Library of the Ancients is literally called Biblos, like bibliography. And spoiler alert, it's weak to fire because it's a book.
Because it's a book and those things burn.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah,
baby.
dude. Hey, I don't know why Moms for Liberty doesn't just go straight to burning the books.
It's bad optics.
There's no historically like inconvenient precedent for that, you know? There's nothing weird about burning books.
No, they don't want to draw those unfavorable comparisons that keep being made because they keep acting.
Because they keep literally saying things like, I love Hitler in their group chats. Anyway, enough of the real world.
Jesus Christ.
Back to this fun fantasy world. Yes, we have to burn the book. And then Cid or Mid, it's like the first like real character we meet, because we find out that while we've been fighting this giant monster that came out of the book, Mid has just been lost in his own research, literally right next to us in the room. So Mid is this style of guy. He's like, I'm so deep in my research that I didn't even notice a battle was happening behind me. And it's like the first real personality we've met. No, Sean's choking, so I'm stalling as I wait for his thoughts.
Okay, and Galeb sees Mid. He's like, "Look at this nerd. This nerd reminds me of Kryl. Who's Kryl?" We'll get to that later.
Yeah, another piece that's being breadcrumbed for a very, very lengthy run of the game is Galeb's memories coming back about Kryl, which I think we even said last time. We already spoiled. That's his granddaughter, who we will meet more properly
right
towards the end of this run of breaking crystals.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is that Mid like brings back for us from deep in the library, but there was some reason we needed Mid and his research. It's to fix the fire ship.
The fire ship.
Right.
Yeah, they found so the reason that all of these scholars are like so intently studying this like, old library is because there was a race of ancients in this planet who, much like an Atlantean kind of like myth, where it's just like the people a million years ago or 1,000 years ago like attained such incredible technology, and then a great cataclysm happens that kind of reset society, and now they're like, hey, we found this book that like they're talking about like iPod nanos, and like sounds pretty nice,
Yeah. iPod nanos and flying fortresses, dog, which is going to be kind of our next destination with a whole lot of bull mess in between. Oh my God. So this is the part that I've now replayed, I think 4 times.
Nice. So you remember everything about it
from pretty much this stretch through the next like Crystal Temple. It's so absurd. So now that we've got Mid, we go back to the fire ship where now with his knowledge, he can fix it to be able to run without the power of the fire crystal.
Right.
Alongside Sid. So he and Sid become this dynamic duo who keep helping us figure out a way to travel to like the next complicated geography that we can't reach.
Yeah. Basically, like, it's like Bart's is 007 and Mid and Sid are Q.
Yeah. And they just have to continually say, oh no, we have to fix this mode of transportation that wasn't working. And when Sid and Mid first reunite, Sid is doing classic old guy who failed, I'm gonna like drink my life away in the bar routine.
Right. I'm right there. Yeah.
I get it, bro. It's fine. So, and it brings back another memory of Kryl at this point, I believe. That Gal's like, look at this kid talking to his grandfather. I remember being talked to like a grandfather. Kryl. So they get Sid up off the floor after he slaps him around, and then we have a fire ship after they tinker with it. And the next destination, do they make it clear? I just kind of instinctively knew where to go from my memory. I don't remember if they tell us anything.
I'm looking through the Final Fantasy V Advanced strategy guide right now, and now that you have the ship repaired, the next place it recommends you go is to the town of Jakol. Because I don't want to call it Jackhole, which is how it's spelled, but I'm going to say Jakol. And basically, the town of Jakol has there's this cave that has been like ransacked by adventurers. It was like this cave full of treasure, and in that cave you can find some there's an enemy called the Nutkin.
Yep.
And it's like a killer squirrel that can like really mess you up.
She jacked my hole until I nutkin.
Oh boy. Patreon.com/campvideogames. We deserve it.
Yeah. You're all very welcome for that one.
I don't remember what.
I was very confused by this cave. We actually did go there next, and we were like, are we supposed to be here or not? Because you could come out in this little open area if you go all the way through. And then I don't remember anything happening when I got there.
Yeah, that area becomes important and closer to end game. I believe that's how you access that's how you fight Bahamut.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, but I usually don't.
Yeah, either way, I had no idea what I was doing at this point in the game. We spent because we've been playing it about an hour at a time, because during the week, that's as much screen time as we allow the child, but like, we spent an entire hour session. I don't remember if it was when we got this fire ship or when we got the Black Chocobo, which is the next progression.
Sure.
We were just lost for an entire hour. And then I finally was just like, I'm Googling it. I'm sorry we wasted everybody's time.
The town of Crescent is the next like official destination. And as soon as you set foot in the town, an earthquake will occur.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like, you just get this ship and they're like, the world's yours. Go wherever you want, buddy. And then you go into this town just like, you fell into a cave.
And like if you don't nutkin in my jackhole,
I hate that.
which Jakol also has like the best armor and weapons at this point as well.
Okay.
But like, if you go straight to this destination when you get the fire ship, it's literally a minute that you have this mode of transportation before it's taken away from you. It's so bizarre how many modes of transportation they rifle you through in this game.
Yeah, let's count off. You start off with Boko, and then you get the airship.
No, you get Boko pirate ship.
Oh, the dragon.
Then the dragon. Then
the fire ship.
Then the fire ship. Then the Black Chocobo,
which flies.
Yes,
but it can't fly everywhere.
It can't go over tall mountains, and it can't land on plains, I don't think. It can only land in forests.
Yes, that's right.
Then you get the airship.
And then the submarine ship.
No, then you get the higher airship.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God, this game rules.
And that's just basically the first act, the first world. Like, that's for me the way I'm playing, because we're going pretty fast because we've got these like boosts and turning encounters off. That's the first like 5 hours of the game that you go through all of those modes of transportation. And so the next one at this point is, yes, you go to Crescent Island, earthquake happens, and you are marooned on the island. But thankfully it's very small, and you're eventually going to guess to go into this little square patch of forest.
Yes.
Where you're going to find a Black Chocobo who ate the crystal shards from the last crystal that exploded.
Sure, man.
And now you have the Ranger and Bard job class.
Right. And I think we skipped over some of the other jobs that you can earn.
I briefly mentioned
the Mystic Knight.
Oh, yeah, we didn't mention
the Berserker. Yeah. I'm interested if anyone's been able to beat the game with all Berserkers. Because that would be kind of fun, because it's just instant. Like, you don't have to do any inputs while you have a Berserker. Like, they just automatically attack. And if you give them the right abilities, perhaps that would you according to the development story that I went through, the team making Final Fantasy V wanted to ensure that any combination of jobs is beatable for the game, and
which is fascinating.
That's incredible. That's an incredible amount of R&D. It's incredibly
difficult to do that and not just break the game.
Yeah,
a quarter of the way in or something.
And the one that I thought was most interesting is that you can have all freelancers from the start, never give them a single skill, and you can still beat the game. Yeah, as long as you've got the right items, essentially.
I love and hate that about Final Fantasy games. That there's skill is never your barrier to progression. I say this as I'm probably 80 hours into Hollow Knight Silk Song that came out a month and a half ago.
Jesus Christ.
That game is offensively hard at times.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's fuck you hard.
Is it like a Metroidvania?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insanely good. It's like a Metroidvania meets a Souls-like game. And it's incredibly rewarding, but like, oh my God, this is a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But like Final Fantasy games are always a matter of like, if you're willing to just hang out and grind enemies that you can handle, eventually numbers will go up, you know?
Love those numbers.
Which
going
like,
up.
I love that. But we've had this conversation. I don't remember if it's been on the podcast or not, but like, there's a category of YouTube video that's like, can you beat Final Fantasy VII with only the attack command?
Yeah.
And like, I see that thumbnail and it's, you know, an hour and a half video. I go, no, the answer is yes. Like there's no skill required. It's just, are you willing to invest the time? And sure, there's probably sort of best practices you can do to optimize that run, but like the answer is always yes. It's just time, you know? And I love that about the games because it bars no one from experiencing the story if they're willing to put the time in, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. And this game, I've run into that like around this part of the game. It's like, it's been hard for us to figure out like what's a good build for our party.
Okay.
Because the jobs are kind of all over the place. And
They're
like
just
I said,
throwing
like,
so many at you.
yeah. And like the enemies, defenses are so varied at this point in the game that it's hard to just have like a set group of like couple attackers, couple casters, and they're all going to do damage like consistently, you know? That it's nice that like we were like, okay, we just got to grind some enemies for like 5 to 10 minutes at a certain point. And unfortunately that takes longer if you don't have the pixel remaster.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the 4x boost or whatever. But like,
oh, I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, it's very nice. So I don't know. I very much appreciate that about these games. It's a big part of what I think drew me into them. Is that like we were used to things being Nintendo hard in the early 90s. And then this game came along. It's like, no, if you're just willing to hang out, we'll keep moving the story for you, you know? But yeah, you get the black chocobo, and at this point you can now get Rama, the summon up in Istari.
Oh, I always pronounce that Ramu.
I always said it Ramu until voice acting came along.
And they say Rama.
And I first heard it, I think in Final Fantasy 15, maybe in 14.
Yeah.
They said it out loud for the first time.
Love that.
I recall.
I love that. And at this point, you also you can get Ifrit in the Library of the Ancients.
Yeah, which I always said Ifrit until I heard it pronounced officially in a game.
Yeah. Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's how they say Ifrit now. But so yeah, you can go up and get Rama up in this town of Istri. There's also like a couple accessories that are like 50,000 gil that are out of reach, but I skipped that. So did not grind for that.
It sounds like a Jamaican being like, learn your history.
Yeah. So you've got the black chocobo. God. And at this point, you just keep going back to sit in mid and getting new forms of transportation.
Right.
That's this chunk of the game. It's very silly. Because I think your next thing is do you have to go back to the Library of the Ancients to talk to them at this point? I think. And then they will find that there's an airship under where they figure out where your boat got swirled into the water.
Yes.
There's like ancient ruins down there.
That's right. That's called Catapult.
Yes. And so I forget if you get the airship first. God, again, I've played this section of the game 4 times now.
Yeah.
Weeks. Did I explain why yet?
So
the first thing that happened was I think it might have been the session we ran around for an hour and made almost no progress. I forgot to save it.
Yikes.
So we lost, I think, the fire ship and the black chocobo.
Yeah.
And then we made it as far as the Temple of the Earth Crystal, the Ronkin ruins that we're about to get to. We made it inside of there. And then I was like, I got to play ahead because me and the 9-year-old are moving too slow. So I started a separate save, played about 3 hours ahead, and then I accidentally saved over the other one.
God damn.
So then I spent today and yesterday replaying this section from the fire ship back through the Earth Temple, and I still don't remember the order of operations.
There's a time mage ability that is basically, it's like it allows you to just start a fight over from the beginning. I don't remember what it's called, but I bet you wish
it's
you had
called like
that.
Return or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
So to get to the gone ruins, that's in the middle of the desert, right?
Yes.
And in order to do that, you need to first, because that's the desert of the shifting sands, where it's impassable once you enter that area. But the Sid and Mid have this plan to basically, they call upon a giant sandworm straight out of Dune, and you're to defeat it and then use its corpse as a bridge to get through the shifting sands, which I thought was creative. A creative solution to a strange problem.
Yes. So after you get through the shifting sands, which is a kind of it's barely a dungeon. There's after the sandworm.
Oh yeah, it's just a couple of little panels.
It takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're at I forget the name of the ruins you just said, but
the Gone ruins. Gone ruins.
When you enter the King of Tycoon, I still don't understand. I think this was actually him. You just see him walking and you have to follow him 3 times.
Yes.
And eventually you follow him up these stairs and you go through a trap door and you're in the ruins of that ancient civilization we were talking about like 10 minutes ago.
Yes, the underground temple.
Yeah. And there's this really weird little scenario where Galif gets separated from the gang.
Yes.
But it's still on screen for the player to see. And that's when Lena and Ferris go, "Oh my god, you're my sister? You're my sister. Yay." And it's like this very just
bada bing.
Yeah, quick, hey, that happened. And then you just walk out and you end up on this platform, and that platform teleports you to the catapult dungeon ship storage next to Crescent Island.
Sure, yeah. The garage.
The garage. Let's call it the garage. And then Sid and Mid go, "Oh, we for some reason we know the gang ended up back there," and they come and they go, "Hey, there's an airship down here. We can give it to you."
Thanks, guys. There's so many airships.
So weird. This is the most bizarrely paced Final Fantasy scenario out of maybe the entire series.
Yeah.
It's so convoluted and weird.
I know that a majority of the like scenarios were made by Sakaguchi, the director of the game, and Katase, who's been very important to Final Fantasy since. And all of the funny parts are Katase's fault. I say funny with a million quotation marks around it because I don't think I got a single chuckle out of this game. And this game tries very hard to be funny.
To its credit, it is working very well on our 9-year-old, which I would say is the intended audience.
Right. And the intended audience is not like a dead-eyed 40-year-old who's just barely getting by. So that's good. That's good to hear that a kid likes this.
Yeah. Like we've had a lot of like, she's actually pointed out like, it's interesting because like, it's nice that it's that reading level that you want to squarely put a kid in, where it's like, there's a word every now and again that's just out of their reach.
Yeah.
Or there's a turn of phrase that's like unfamiliar or something. And there was at one point she like pointed out like, I don't know if it's Galif or all the characters, but like they use a lot of idioms like with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she pointed out like, I like when they make those jokes, and she didn't realize like, oh, that joke is an idiom because you haven't read Amelia Bedelia yet, you know, like,
draw the blinds.
But like, she's noticing these like, you know, whatever. And it is like squarely in the correct demographic, and how much of that's
Square Enixly the correct demographic.
But like, how much of that is a credential to the latest localizers who did it for the Pixel remaster versus the original writing? I don't know, but like, I find it is impressive and it works. It does its job.
Yeah.
You know, as you and I have stated, of course, like we just have trouble following along because it's all moving at such a weird pace. face.
Well, I'm really distracted by the decline of Western civilization. It's really hard to like really focus sometimes.
No, it's fine. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for President Xi to take me. So whatever. Who cares?
And all of the so all the funny stuff that's Katase's doing mostly, and all of the super melodramatic like tear jerking moments, that's all Sakaguchi, and they were like trying to one up each other in terms of like emotional impactful scenes.
Interesting. Yeah, and like again, I got to give them credit that like these emotional impacts are hitting for the 9-year-old. Like
if you kill a cute dragon, I'm sad.
Yeah, we said this last time. Like when Sildra first goes down and you think that she's dead, like our 9-year-old's like, no, Sildra. And it's like, we just met this dragon 20 minutes ago.
And it's her favorite dragon now.
But I'm like, I mean, in your lifespan, I guess 20 minutes is a long time. But so like, I don't know. It does work. So I just got to give them credit. But yeah, our next beat, as soon as we get the airship, we go back to the town that we fell in the pit, and then
that's Crescent.
No, it's the those ruins, that ruined town.
Okay,
because we're in the garage outside of Crescent.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, we got an airship. We can get you on this airship. And that's very fun. It's very freeing. There's not many new places to go, but it's like, hey, we can move fast and it's fun.
Yeah.
Eventually, you need to just fly over the area where you fell into the pit that took you to the garage.
Yeah.
And these ruins fly out.
That's the Ronka ruins?
Yes. And at this point, you're supposed to know to go back to Sid and Mid for advice. And you go back to the garage. You talk to them again. And they go, well, your ship needs to go higher because those ruins flew up too high in the sky.
Yeah.
You need adamantite for that.
Adamantite, which you find in the meteors.
Yes. And Galuf goes, look, my memory's bad, but I definitely saw adamantite in my meteor.
Yeah.
You go to his meteor, you grab it, and this is one of these fights that I'm talking about. The adamantoise attacks you on the way out. Again, no rhyme or reason to it. It's just there's a monster in here.
Is that a turtle monster?
It's a turtle monster.
Yeah.
So it's like almost immune to physical attacks with swords. I think like lightning damage did fine for me. But like whatever arrangement or build I had, the first time I fought it, like we were struggling. I was using Lena's ninja throw ability to like desperately get out of that fight the first time I fought it.
Yeah, ice is super effective against adamantoise.
Okay. So I barely got out by the skin of my teeth the first time through the adamantoise. The last time I did it, which was just before you got here, fixing our save state that I broke, I blasted through that thing with ice, I think. So yeah, it's crazy. This is a bonkers game. Bonkers confusing stuff, but like I do appreciate that even though I'm using this 4x experience boost, like I'm still sweating some of these boss fights.
I have to say, in like you've played every mainline Final Fantasy game?
Everything but 13.
Everything but 13.
And I didn't 11 I only played whatever, like the first several months it was out or whatever, and didn't get very far.
My question to you, you've played more than I have. Is this the hardest Final Fantasy in the mainline series that you've played?
That's a good question.
I can say with confidence from my limited, because I've only played a handful of the Final Fantasy mainline titles, and this is the hardest one. This is the one where I was like, I have to grind here. And that's also like my addictive personality.
Yeah.
But I felt more compelled than ever to grind in this game.
I think I agree with you, and I'm basing this also on that Tactics was an outgrowth of this. The same designers did that battle system, and that like that's definitely the hardest in my opinion.
First Tactics 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like War of the Lions Tactics, whatever. So I would say, this is probably the hardest mainline one. I can't think of any other Final Fantasy I've struggled with. I guess one is difficult in a almost unintentional way.
In that you can pick the wrong jobs and then just be kind of screwed.
You could pick the wrong job and be stuck. The general design of the game is to do lengthy, very difficult to navigate dungeons where you can find yourself like wildly under resourced.
Yeah.
After like an hour of grinding and trying to find your way, and then die and be frustrated.
I recall one dungeon in Final Fantasy 1. There's a fight every step you take.
It's So, but that's again, it's not necessarily by design. It's just like they were throwing spaghetti at the wall and ended up with something extremely difficult. So
Yeah.
But anyways, we beat the Adamantoise. We
got the adamantite for the airship that will allow us to upgrade the airship to be even to
go even higher,
get more air.
Yes,
in that ship,
and now we can go up to the ruins. And we're finally can go through the Ronkin ruins where the Earth Temple is.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's this outer defense system I've now fought 4 times.
It's weak against lightning.
Yes, I finally figured that out. I think the 3rd run through, which is pretty obvious. Like
it's all like it's machines, anytime you see mechanical things in a Final Fantasy, throw some lightning at it probably.
So like my build the final time was finally like Galuf Black Mage, Ferris, Red Mage, Time Mage, and cast haste on the 2 of them and just blast with lightning. And then Lena and Bartz were there just in their ninja and ranger or archer, whatever jobs, mostly just to rack up the ability points.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to grind for their super skills, basically.
Yeah.
And then like there's a boss fight of this section, which is this giant cannon thing.
The soul cannon.
The soul
cannon
is a difficult fight in that
you're on Soul Plane.
Soul Cannon is basically like a HP draining race because it very frustratingly it has like these 2 back components that cast old, which decreases your level over time.
I love that.
I hate it because I don't think you can have any items that can cure it at this point in the game, can you?
I
didn't have
so.
any.
No, not to my knowledge.
So like everybody
and, like, I don't think Asuna even helps that, does it?
I don't think so. So like everybody has old cast on them. So you're doing like crap damage, racing to keep your HP up, and it only does this one attack all thing like every 4 rounds or something.
Yeah.
And you just gotta like race against it.
And at this point, it's got the Soul Cannon has 22,000 health,
really?
Whereas the Adamantoise only had 2,000 health.
Yeah, I just kept rocking this thing with lightning on even my last time through, and it's still like I'm sweating a little bit, hoping I can keep up with it. If you don't come in prepared, man, you're just screwed so many times in this game.
Shout out to the Final Fantasy V Advanced strategy guide, because in every section it's like, here are the recommended jobs for this dungeon.
And furthermore, like a lot of important like blue mage stuff to learn in this chunk of the game. In just these 4 battles against the defense system, there's flamethrower, which is like a good cheap fire attack for blue mage, and this missile attack. And then in the ruins, which we go in once we destroy this cannon thing, there's a very, very important one. It's like a Curaga level.
Oh, White Wind?
Cure called White Wind or Second Wind or something.
Yeah.
And you have to get it by you either have I couldn't figure out how isn't there like a job that takes control of an enemy just during that battle? Because Beastmaster takes them in like a Pokemon and then throws them out to do a single attack later. But the way I got that White Wind or Second Wind, whatever it's called, this time was I casted something on it, that enemy that confuses it, and then it accidentally cast it on my party.
Interesting.
And that's the way I learned it.
And another way you can do that is to cast Reflect on the enemy, and then they'll cast that spell on themselves, and then you'll get it.
Yeah.
And you have the blue mage has to survive the fight in order to learn that skill. So it's just one of those little stepping stones toward greatness.
Yeah, but I also did learn that the blue mage doesn't have to be the one hit by the attack in this game.
Interesting. Not like enemy skill.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, I actually pulled the footage up where I got it to cast White Wind on my party. I found it somehow. But otherwise, also you get Arrow 2 in this dungeon, and most of the enemies are absorb air-based attacks here because you're way up in the sky.
In the air, I guess.
And it's a very lengthy dungeon. I say we're short on time, so we should wrap here, and then a lot of cutscenes happen at this point. So we'll start with all those, whatever the boss fight is at the end of this dungeon, and all those cutscenes next time. Holy moly! So yeah, a lot of logistical back and forth in this segment of the game.
That's right. Yeah, and so this is the Ronka Ruins. One of the skills that's really helpful in this area is the Thief's See Paths ability, which basically shows you hidden pathways.
Yes, this is the first dungeon to very much exploit that.
Yeah, and it'll come in handy later. But campers, if you enjoy this vibe, be sure to like, subscribe, comment us your favorite Final Fantasy enemy. I think my favorite Final Fantasy enemy is God.
You know I'm out here always trying to kill God. That's my favorite part of these games.
Final Fantasy
Aside from
Adventure, you get to kill God with a chainsaw. It's awesome.
That rips. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for checking this out. We've got a whole other series on a bunch of other games. If you go to youtube.com, Camp Video Games, they're all there.
That's right.
Hit that subscribe. Until next time, I don't know.
Stay camping.
Stay camping. Stay something. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.